Okay, so you've got it. The idea, the passion, you're ready to build something that's truly yours. And that feeling is absolutely incredible. But right behind all that excitement, there's a part that, well, isn't always quite so thrilling. The money. Yeah, on one side you have that creative spark, right? The part that feels like pure freedom and possibility. But then there's the other side, the finances. And that can get stressful, confusing, and just messy really, really fast. It's honestly the #1 thing that bogs down so many new businesses.
Look, I'm just going to be straight with you because this is so important. This quote says everything. You can have the best, most brilliant idea in the world, but if your money's a total mess, your whole business is at risk. But the good news? Getting it all sorted out is way simpler than you probably think.
And let's get one thing straight. If this is you, it is not some personal failing. It is a universal challenge that pretty much every new entrepreneur faces. We're just going to call it the money problem, and today we are going to solve it step by step.
So forget about all that complicated accounting software for just a minute. Let's start with 2 super foundational steps you can take, like today, to get immediate control and clarity. The absolute #1 rule before you do anything else is separate your money. Seriously, I don't care if you're making $10 a month or $10,000. Open a dedicated business checking account and open a separate savings account just for your taxes. You can use great online banks like Bluevine or Novo, or just stick with the traditional one like Chase. The important part is, just do it. So why is this such a non-negotiable? Well, because right away it lets you see your actual profit. It makes tax time about 100 times easier for you and for the IRS. It makes you look and feel way more professional, and it sets the entire stage for future growth. It is the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about.
Okay, so once your accounts are separate, the next crucial step is tracking. And I mean tracking every single dollar that comes in and every single dollar that goes out. You've probably heard the saying, you can't grow what you don't measure, and when it comes to business, that is the absolute truth.
And what are we tracking exactly? Everything. Your revenue, of course, every single payment, but also every single expense, your software subscriptions, any money you spend on marketing, what you pay contractors, any courses you buy to get better, new equipment, even a percentage of your home office. Trust me, this data is pure gold. All right, now that you're tracking everything, how do you actually structure it? This is where we get to the system that will basically automate your financial peace of mind. It's how you direct your money with purpose instead of just, guessing.
But before we jump into the system, we have to talk about the single biggest trap for new entrepreneurs. And that is treating all the money that hits your account as your money. A huge chunk of that revenue never actually belonged to you. It belongs to the IRS.
And here is the simple, life-saving solution. Every single time you get paid, before you do anything else, move 25 to 30% of it straight into that tax savings account we talked about. Make this a habit, a non-negotiable habit. It will save you from so much stress down the line.
Okay, so let's put this all together in what we call the 4-bucket system. It's so simple. All your money flows into your main revenue account. From there, you immediately, and I mean immediately, move it into your other 3 buckets: taxes, operating expenses for the business, and finally, whatever's left over, that's your profit. That's your pay.
Here's a really simple way to visualize it. Let's say some revenue comes in. Bam, 30% immediately gets moved to that tax savings account. Another 30% or so stays in your checking to cover all your business expenses. And that remaining 40%, that is your actual, real take-home pay. See? This system completely removes emotion and forces you to run your business on the real numbers.
So just by setting up these separate accounts and using this simple bucket system, you are literally building a fortress against the most common money mistakes that trip up almost every new entrepreneur.
Let's really hammer this home. By putting these super simple practices in place, what are the financial landmines that you can just totally sidestep?
Well, for starters, you'll never again have that tangled, confusing mess of personal and business spending. Those separate accounts you set up, problem solved from day one. Instant clarity. Second, you will never get that terrifying, heart-stopping surprise tax bill at the end of the year. Because you're automatically moving that 30% into savings, that risk is just gone. The money is literally just sitting there waiting for the IRS. No sweat. You've also solved one of the most dangerous mindset traps out there, confusing revenue with profit. This bucket system forces you to see that $1,000 in sales is not $1,000 in your pocket. It makes you focus on what actually matters: profit.
And finally, you've completely eliminated that year-end panic. You know what I'm talking about. The frantic search for receipts, trying to make sense of 12 months of chaos. Your system is now continuous. It's always organized.
But this system, it builds to something so much bigger than just clean bookkeeping. This is about completely transforming your relationship with your business's money. It's about moving from a state of anxiety to a state of power.
Because this is the real payoff. This is what it's all for. It's having the confidence to actually quit your day job. It's having the data to know where to invest to grow faster. It's having the financial cushion to protect you during the slow months.
And ultimately, it just comes down to this. Living with messy finances creates this constant, low-grade anxiety. You're always kind of wondering if you're doing things right. But when your finances are clean and organized, that anxiety just vanishes, and it's replaced with a feeling of control, of power. So, I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Right now, in this moment, when you look at your side hustle, is the way you manage your money creating anxiety or is it creating power? Because you now have the exact blueprint to make sure it's the latter.